In the world today, it has now become widely recognized that climate change is a systemic risk to mankind. In this country, we have therefore legislated for a net zero future by 2050. This cannot be done without investing in renewables at some considerable scale. And the most obvious one is solar PV.
Solar is a very cheap source of electricity, even cheaper than wind and gas. From an economic perspective and from an environmental perspective, solar really does make sense.
Public power solutions are quite unique. They have all the expertise that are required to develop a solar park, from design, planning permission, grid connections, procurement, and project management. There is no other organisation in the public sector that can do that.
So PPS offer a bespoke range of services for local authorities. We've delivered around 200 megawatts of battery storage and solar projects in the last 5 years.
In recent years, many local authorities and councils have had their budgets cut, so they are looking for sustainable, long-term new sources of income, and this is where PPS can really come in and help by developing these projects really efficiently to help those organisations to reap the financial benefits.
Some of the projects that have been delivered with PPS include large-scale solar farms like the one behind us, to smaller initiatives on primary schools as well as community centres, in addition to EV charging units across the town, including in residential settings as well as the borough offices.
One of our objectives is to look at how we make best use of the land that we have on site, particularly for low carbon technologies. And the solar farm was one of those great opportunities that came our way through PPS that we managed to jump on and build an enormous solar farm that's now feeding about 15,000 houses worth of electricity back to the national grid.
Some of the advantages of working with PPS is that the team can really help to simplify and to demystify what are often really complex projects.
PPS are a wholly owned entity of Swindon Borough Council, which means that we can do everything procurement-wise that a solar farm would need in-house. And then moving on to construction management, we can provide construction management support. And then crucially, at the end of the process, when a scheme is actually operating, we can provide asset management services to make sure that scheme performs as designed.
So working with PPS was really important because of the relationship with Swindon Borough Council. It's very important with the public sector that we're very transparent in the way we do things, and their abilities within the procurement sector and within the planning sector were really important for the success of this project.
PPS see the public sector as a key opportunity in terms of the drive towards net zero. The public sector has land assets, it has buildings, it uses a lot of electricity, so it's really well placed to benefit from the transition to net zero.
I'll say one of the environmental successes I'm most proud of is the fact that as a local authority within the borough, we actually have enough solar power being generated to actually power all of the houses and all of the businesses.
A third of this site is owned by local investors, and they get a dividend biannually for the next 15 years, which is really, really good news for the environmental side, but also from the financial side.
It's important to have somebody like PPS on board because they have all the expertise for all these areas in one place.
For a project of this scale, the planning process, the local authority process, can throw up a number of different challenges. Having an expert team that you can just give a call to and ask a question and get a proper, straightforward answer to has been really important with that process. Without PPS's support, I don't think this project would have got off the ground.
So whether you're a local authority, a community group or a landowner, we look forward to working with you on your renewable energy project.